guys, so I'm gonna do my weekly response about God is not dead. Little disclaimers, yes, I'm in my vehicle. It's the only quiet place that I can find where nobody could hear me. Okay, let's get to it. So, God is Not Dead is probably a very interesting film that I found. It, as many as you know what it's about, it talks about a professor asking his student who wouldn't write God is dead on a piece of paper to basically change the rest of the students' idea on how God is alive. Okay, so let's talk about the film. I believe the film original intent was to spread the word of Christianity, but I also believe that it was to get people to think about God. And of course, it was done for the favoritism of Christianity. I'm sorry. And I think it also tried to make people convert into Christianity. I don't believe that it was very successful. I think the film was. I liked the film, but I think the film was very poorly made. If that makes sense. Okay, this is why. So to begin with, let's talk about the professor. The professor is portrayed as somebody who is very evil and just a nasty person, and he's atheist. So I think the creators of this movie tried to portray atheism as just something evil, and some people that are just very evil and not very friendly, and that's just not how it is. A lot of atheist people that I know and that I work with are very friendly, and they don't ever try to push their idea upon mine. Let's say if I was a religious person, they never try to tell me, oh, you're believing the wrong thing, God is not alive. That conversation never comes up because I think they're at their own free will as am I. So the film, I think it does a poor way of illustrating atheism. It's also very stereotypical because there's been a lot of misconception about atheism. I think people think that it's because of something bad that happened into their life, and I think it tries to ignore or not give people credit enough that we as human beings, we can just question, is God alive? Is God real? I think this movie doesn't display that enough. I don't think that all atheist people or anyone that questions the creation of God does it because some bad experience or some death in their family went through. I think that we should be credited enough that we can use our brain or just our reason enough to question. Does this make sense? Or I think we're in a very much, I think we're very capable of questioning and having or having our own thoughts to question. If that makes any sense, I think that basically I'm trying to say that the film does not give us credit for that. I think the film is trying to say that atheism is because of the experience that you go through. It's a bad experience, but I disagree. I think that people can be logical enough. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I just wanted to give us credit enough that we can question our own belief, and we are in our right to question our own belief. So that's where I got that from the film. It also tries to portray, I think, Christianity as a victim. The student, he tries to make, I think he portrays in the film, at least as the creators, that Christianity is a victim to people who don't believe in God. I think that's very incorrect. I think that if you don't want to believe in it, then you just don't. And I think that it was a little bit extreme. Yes, in the film, how the professor tried to make the students write that and said, I'm going to fail you. I think that overall the message was that that's how atheist people are, and Christianity is a victim. So I didn't agree with that. I didn't like seeing that. It worries me that people are going to think that about people who are atheists. But I think people who are atheists, just as anybody else in the world, should have their own free will of choosing what they want to think, what they want to believe, what they don't want to believe. So if you don't believe in God, that's fine. If I believe in God, atheist people, I think, are okay with it. They don't agree with me, but they don't try to bash me for it. What else? Okay. What was I going to say? Okay, so, sorry. So something that I was trying to, what brought me to that, I questioned somebody at my job. As you can see, I am at work right now, and I get off pretty late, so it's the only chance I had to do this video. I asked somebody at my job who is atheist, and I asked him, what made you become atheist? Were you religious before? And he said, no, I believed in God when I was young, but it was until high school and college where he started thinking, is God really real? He said that he thought it was too good to be true, and that people who believe in God are delusional. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that people want faith, and I think they are in their right to have that faith. He also told me something very funny that I do want to share with you. He said that when he started not believing in God, that made him have less of an ego, and that you start to feel less and more alive and more free. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do see his point, because people do say that Christianity, just in the film, that God has a plan for you. And his mind, he said that God has a plan for you. It's saying that you're going to be that person no matter what, and that you have no room to, I don't want to say no room to grow, but that to say that God has a plan for you is saying that you already have a set plan. But I believe that you are free at your own will, and you can be whoever you want. So it was just very interesting to hear that for him to say that disbelieving in God made him have less ego, and that people that do believe in God are egoistic, which I don't agree with, so please don't get offended. But I really, really did find interest in that, and something that you guys can comment me about, that not believing in God made him have less ego, and that you feel less pressured, you feel more alive, more free. Overall, I think God is not dead. His intention was just to spread the word of Christianity and to eventually get people to convert. I think it was a little bit extremist. I think the idea of it was intentionally good. Whether how we took it, that is on us. But I am very open to any discussions that the class may have. But I found that interesting. That film, very interesting. I found that the characters in it could have probably acted better, but can't change that. But it really did make me think about our society and how we see people incorrectly, and how people may see us incorrectly, and how I just want to make a change to that. Overall, I think it was a very good film.